So thanks for that. Um, since we have Studio Web like newly introduced, and then so that's in the previous session now, like we wanted to try, and then we wanted to give you what we have learned, and then like kind of show you how we can leverage this Studio Web in terms of different UI automation and document understanding. So quickly, like I just want to introduce myself. Like myself, Gunashekar. I have like around 7 years of IT experience, and then I'm basically from the .NET background, and then so it's been almost 6 years that I've been working with the UiPath itself, and then currently I'm working with EY and Young, and then I'm UiPath MVP this year. Yeah, so that's all about me, and then I have my co-speaker, and then the man here like Srini. Srini, like, do you want to introduce yourself
Yeah,
to the
thank
team?
you, Guna. Hi, everyone. Like this is Srini. I have 6 years experience into RPU UiPath, and when come to IT experience, I have around like 11 years. I started a journey, like my journey as a Java developer, and after that moved to RPA. Now I am working with a Prosa partner. It's a UK-based company, and working as a senior technical lead. So I received UiPath MVP awards from for 2002 and 2003 as well. So excited to see more sessions. Yeah, pass to you, Guna.
Thank you, Srini. And then we have two more co-speakers here. That the session or the entire series which we are doing here. Four of us. One is Lakshman. If you missed the previous session, and then we had a introduction session about the UiPath Studio Web, and then along with Mudhu Krishna. So both are MVPs, UiPath MVPs. So thank you, Mudhu Krishna, and then Lakshman for joining us today as well. Okay, so let's get into the like key takeaways that are what are we going to do in this session, like next at least for couple of minutes, I can say 30 minutes. So I wanted to show you guys how we can automate any web application using Studio Web, and then like what are all the different activities that we have in the Studio Web, and then like I wanted to show you like previously UiPath Studio is kind of morely like with okay, sorry, got distracted with the Windows platform, and then so that's why like we couldn't able to do it in the Mac, or this kind of difficulties were. But since this is a cloud platform, and then so I just wanted to explain you about like cross browser and then platform compatibility, and then so most of the automations or most of the UI automation or web applications that we use Chrome is a browser, default browser, to automate the application. So I just wanted to show you how to install the Chrome extension in Studio Web, and then some I have quick one or two demos, and then lastly I'll show you some. We are here to kind of answer your questions. So these are the few things that we are going to talk about. Okay, so next thing, like okay, so let me show you. I don't know how many of you are joined yesterday, but let me take you through the quickly like quick glance on what we have done yesterday. Okay, so since the Studio Web is a cloud platform, it's like you can automate everything in the cloud, all your applications or your connections, everything. So you have to log in into the cloud.uipath.com, and then so log in into your account, and then so after that you'll see on your left side Studio. Oh, I have opened it already. Okay, so this is how the Studio Web looks like, and then you will be having multiple pans here. One is template, project, automations, and then runs and connections. So let me give it quickly. Like templates is something which will be pre-built, and then that those you can directly utilize those things. So like we have our framework is a template in the Studio, right? So same way we have multiple templates here, and then so these are all the different connections or different apps that this workflow is utilizing. So it is kind of Outlook to OneDrive and then SharePoint. Okay, so these are the templates that we have, and then you can directly utilize it. And then so projects, the projects itself, like whatever the projects you created, and then so recently I have worked on multiple things, and then these are the projects which I have created. You can see all your created projects here, and then so if you want to create any new project, so you can say a new project, and then so create an sorry new project, and then it will ask you to create a new project here. And then so we have multiple options here, and then you can new from template, you can import from here. And then if you have any existing or someone already built it and then they have shared with you, if you want to open that you can directly go and then import project. So it will ask you or drag you this file. I'll kind of show you what how can we do this in the next couple of minutes. Okay, so next is automations, and then what are the automations that we have kind of did it and then executed, and then how many runs, like what are the different runs we have done. Like recently I have a few minutes back only I did this Flipkart data extraction, and then so I kind of run it, and then so those kind of runs, and then you can see here. And then so in the connections, like most importantly, like if you want to interact with any third party applications using a Studio Web, and then you have to connect to those applications. All those connections you can see here. Okay, so this is the thing. And then so quickly let me create a new project. Okay, let's take automation demo. Again, like we have multiple kind of triggers we have manually, and then event based and then time based trigger. How we have like orchestrated, we have triggers, right? Like queue based and then time based. Same way here we have like manually and then event and then time based trigger. So if you haven't seen, like yesterday Lakshman was explained our previous session, so we can put that link in the chat, and then please go through that link as well. So let me create a new project. Okay, so since I have selected the manual trigger, you can see the manual trigger. But if you want to change it to some other trigger, you have an option to switch to event trigger and then switch to time-based trigger. And then this is how the entire like designer panel looks like. And then where you can kind of add your activities. Okay, so now let me kind of show you what I'm going to do here. So let me show you Amazon. Simple, like I'm going to do a simple data extraction part. Okay, so this Amazon, like I'm going to search iPhones. Now I want to extract all these details and then put it in an Excel file. Okay, so that's what I'm going to show you. To do that, close this. Okay, let's take in a variable first. So to get in a variable or to assign a variable, like since we have assign activity, same way we have like set variable value here. Okay, so coming to the designer panel again, if you want to create any variable, and then you can directly go to the open data manager and then create a variable here. So I wanted to create a variable saying that product name. So everything same, like your coding standards or everything, you can follow the same thing what you are doing in the studio. Let me share product name and then global, and then let me say it's a text, and then default value. I don't want to give default value, so let's create this as a variable. Okay, then I wanted to search with iPhones, so I'm giving my product name as iPhones. Then to which variable I have to set, I have to set to this variable. Okay, so that's how, like iPhones are stored into this variable, and then now we can utilize this variable wherever we want. Now I wanted to search that variable name or whatever the product name I want to search in this search box. So now what I'm going to do, so I don't know, like how many of you kind of familiar with Studio, and then so whenever you have a Studio, let me kind of a quickly comparison, like I'll show you. So I wanted to open a browser. So this is a Studio I'm talking about again. So we have a direct activity called open browser here. Okay, so when you have an open browser activity, you have to pass your URL. Code, sorry. Yeah, so you have to pass your URL, and then so that will open, and then so and then you have to select which browser that you wanted to interact here. Browser type, Chrome or Edge or IE, all those things. Okay, now see how we can do this in the Studio Web. Okay, let's type browser. use browser. So opens a web page to use in your automation. So this is what that we are looking for. Click on it, and then okay, since the Chrome extension is installed in my machine, see, since I have this UiPath web automation is installed in my machine, so you're not going to see these pop-ups, but I have a kind of document which I have created. Okay, so whenever you drag a user, sorry, whenever you add a user browser use browser activity, it will ask you to install the extension like this. So when you do this, and then when you click on this, it will automatically take you to the Chrome and then add to Chrome. So once you click on the Chrome, and then it will show you the pop-up and then add extension. So once you add the extension, you can see these extensions are installed, or extensions are added into your browser. Okay, that's how you can add these browsers. But again, I wanted to tell you, like I was talking about the cross browser or cross platform compatibility, right? Since the Chrome, like UiPath is more user friendly, or you don't have to install any extension with the Edge browser. Okay, so let's take, I have a Edge browser. You don't have to install any extension when you're using this Studio Web in the Edge. I'm logging into the same tenant again, from Edge to there, from Edge as well, and then Chrome as well. Okay, so let's create one more test here. Okay, let's go to the project, and so if you use browser activity, don't have to install any extension for this. Let's see whether it is going to ask or not. So okay, it is asking. Let's do that as well. Okay, so this is how it is going to ask you, and then get this extension, and then add extension. Okay. Okay, that's it. Like that's how we have to install the extension. Okay, for Edge as well, we have to create install the extension. Okay, next let me get back to the use case. Since all this, like this page is already opened in my browser, in the same browser, so you can directly see what are all the web pages are opened in this browser. Okay, let me how to okay, so Amazon is open, and then cloud.uipath.com, this one, and then the settings tab, whatever the tabs it is opened, and then you can see all those tabs. It is kind of showing you there. 1 second. So I have opened one more web page, that is Medium. Okay, so let's see whether it is kind of showing us that in this or not. Okay, can you see this Medium? Yes, Medium here. Okay, so whatever the apps or whatever the web pages that you open in the same tab that you can see, and then that you can directly utilize it by selecting all those things. Okay, so I wanted to use amazon.com, amazon.in, what okay, so let me select that URL, and then you don't have to indicate, or you don't have to select any of the screenshots or anything. So it will automatically take you those screenshots. Let me show you. So these are screenshot that UiPath itself, it took that. Okay, so once you have this, and then so there are multiple options in this. Okay, so if any application you opened, and then if you want to log in into some application, and then it will ask you multi-factor authentication. So that, for that purpose, they have given like require authentication if you have multi-factor authentication, and then it will ask you can enable it, and then you can enable that connection here. So that's how that we can interact using the multi-factor authentication as well. And then so remaining things like timeout, and then continuous and error, like if this browser fails, and then if you want to continue to the next activity, go with the continue and error, true or false, and then options we have, and then closing, and then what kind of interaction that we use. Like in studio we have like simulate type, send window messages. These are the different types of interaction methods we have, right? Same way we have like Chrome API and then simulate type. These are the multiple interaction or input methods we have. And then if you want to open this browser in incognito, you can select it true or false. Okay, so these are all the like, okay, this is the selector, or this is the selector that you get it, and then URL. Yeah, here you can see the URL here for that web page. Okay, input and output. And then if you want to utilize this browser instance, any other screens are somewhere in the bottom or somewhere in the process, you can create it as an output element, and then you can utilize, and then you can pass that the input element in the next activity. So these are the multiple properties you can say you have in use browser activity. Okay, that's it. And then now I wanted to type inside that page. One second, let me, we have like whatever the naming convention we have in studio, just type it and then you'll get the activities there. Okay, so I have the type into activity under UI automation. So let me show you like what are the multiple options that we have, or what are the multiple activities we have under UI automation. Okay, so under UI automation, these are the multiple activities that you have. Check element, get URL, navigate to browser, check in, go to URL, select item, use browser, check app status, highlight, get attribute, everything. Like see here, UI automation have multiple things, right? Under browser, dash browser, close tab, then navigate to, go home, all these things. In studio we have multiple activities, but when it comes to the studio web, they have like limited kind of options, but that can be utilized very efficiently, can say. So let me take you a type into. Okay, so now I wanted to type inside this all your selectors, all your indicating the elements in the browser. It works same as your um, modern automation, modern activities only. Okay, so I wanted to type inside this, select this element. Okay, once you've done this, and then let me show you what are the different, like you have a anchor based activities and my anchor based connection, and then same way, like you have fuzzy selector, and then you have strict selector, whichever you want to automatically do this based on your requirement, you can take it. Okay, let's confirm it. So once we have selected where we have to type in, and then I wanted to give what should I type. Now inside this we have variable, I have created a variable saying that product name here, this product name, and then that is iPhones. So let me pass that. Like you can see multiple options, and then these are the activities, and then under variables you have the product name. Just click on it, it will take you that. Done. Okay. Okay, so we have typed in, and then now let's take iPhones. Now I'm pressing enter. Okay, so I have to press enter now, the type into only. So you have option here. Click on this plus symbol, and then you can see the key enter. Just select it. Okay. And now let's get back to the amazon.com, and then now I wanted to extract the phone and then the price of this mobile. Okay, only two columns that I'm going to extract. So to extract in UiPath we have, okay, on the screen, how we extract, basically like we'll go to data scrapping, and then we'll select this page, and then where is it? Okay, and then column name, all those things. Okay, same thing that we are going to do in the with the Studio Web. How we can do that? Let me show you. Go back to the Studio Web, and then I want to extract the table here. So let's search extract. See, extract the table data under UI automation. It shares extract table data from a specified web page or application. So I'm clicking on it, and then now let's indicate on target screen. In my studio, I'm using classic activities. So select extracted data, phone name, extract text. Okay, I only do. 1 second. Okay, let's take file name. I'm giving confirm. Then I want to extract the price of that each mobile. Okay, so these are like ad and that sponsored one. That's why. Okay, fine. Let's take price, confirm. Okay, done. So we are done extracting, but if you want, like you can extract the when it is going to deliver, and then how many rate how much stars we have for each mobile. That also you can extract. Now you can save and close. Okay, so done. Like let me show you the options here. Okay, same thing, like whenever you wanted to extract, or whenever before extracting, if you want to add some delay, or after extracting, if you want to add some delay, like time specific kind of properties that you can see under the timings, then delay after, delay before, and then timeout, and then continue an error. So these are some properties that you have under the timings. And then options, how many number of items that you wanted to extract, and then delay between the pages when you're moving to the next pages. Oh, okay. How can I, 1 second. Okay, so I just wanted to show you one more thing. So if you want to navigate to the, if you want to extract data from the multiple pages, okay, to the next page, next page, next page, we have option. You can enable it, and then you just have to select the next page, so that it will extract the details. Since we have multiple pages, I don't want to enable this one. Okay, um, save and close. Okay, done. Next is others. Okay, so we are extracting the table, and then I wanted to store into a variable now. So let's take, let me show you another way of creating a variable. Okay, so click on this. After extraction, and then destination data table will be, the output will be stored in this data table at this place. And then there is one, I show you, right? Like you can create a variable from here. And then, so there is another way that you can create a variable, save as a variable, and then dt iPhone's data. Okay, see, when you create a variable, and then from here you have to select the what type of what is the data type of it, and then all those things. But when you directly doing from here, it will directly give you other which data type it is, and then the namespace, all those things, create it. That's it, your data is in the iPhone's data. Okay, let me print this. To print this, or to write something, or to kind of logging mechanism, I just wanted to talk about that. So that's why we have a activity called log message. Okay, info level same, whatever we have in the studio, same thing we have here. And then I wanted to show how many rows we have, in the data table, number of rows. Okay, now variables, I have created a data type variable. And then, so how we do normally, like in the studio, if you want to display any data table rows or anything related to data, like a data table dot rows dot count, and then we have to look for those methods and all, right? But when you see the studio web, so you have a variable, and then so that is DT iPhone's data. Just click on it, and then I wanted to display the number of rows, and then so row method inside it, and then row count. That's it. Okay, so that's how you can display your number of rows in the data table. Okay, next thing, like okay, let's complete the use case. And then next thing, I wanted to write this in a Excel file. Okay, okay, since we are handling, or we are doing everything in the cloud, or everything is in the browser, and then all the connections or all the applications should be in the cloud. Okay, since like usually what we do, like we use the write range activity of XLR workbook activity, so that it will write in your desktop, or it will write in a machine. Since we are kind of a cloud, and then since it is a cloud, and then you have to put the data inside the cloud platform only. Okay, so we have Google Sheets, and then we have Office 365, Microsoft SharePoint or OneDrive. You can directly write there. Since I have created a connection of Google Workspace, I wanted to write in the Google Sheet only. So write range. Okay, since I have created a connection, directly I have like multiple connections here. If you want to create one more connection, add a new connection. To ask you to like kind of give permission to connect to the UiPath to interact with that application. I have these two connections. Let me give you another one. I don't know, so many. Okay, click on next. Next. Password. Let me try another one. I don't remember the password for this. Now, okay, fine. Yeah, let me, I have a document for this. Wait. Okay, so once you click on the connect to Google Sheet, and then it will ask you to give this, like which I showed you, or which you saw in your previous screen. So once you click on connect, it will ask you which mail ID or which user that you wanted to connect. Select that user, and then it will directly connect to that particular user, and then you can see that connection there. Okay, now I don't want to do this. Okay, since I have made the connection, I'm going to utilize this one. And then I wanted to write data inside this Google Sheets, and then let me select the spreadsheet. So my drive, double click on it, and then Amazon data. 1 second, let me open this. Google Sheets. Let's say I want to write in the Amazon data. Okay, so now I don't have any data inside this. Okay, I don't want to save it. Let's close, or let's go back to this one, and then I wanted to see that it is saved or not. Okay, fine. Yes, I want to write in the Amazon data web sheet and then save it. And then, so range itself is kind of a where you wanted to write, which sheet it is. So I want to write in the sheet one. And then remember, like whenever we use a write range activity in the studio, so we have an option like add headers, or that kind of, like if you have headers, and then you can add it, or if you don't want to consider, you have an option like deselect that. Same way we have like a radio button, true or false, include headers or not. And then like how to write, overwrite, and then append to the right or append to the bottom, those options you have. So since like remember, like we have append, range, those activity that you can directly do it here. And what to write, so I wanted to write the data table which I have extracted here, but I have stored this value inside a data table. Where is it? No, here, sorry. Okay, here also you can see, or here also you can see this data. Okay, let me select the variable. And then let me select the data table. That's it. We're done. Okay, so what I'm doing, I have stored a variable inside that str product name variable, and then that is iPhones. And I'm going to the Amazon, and then I'm opening that page, and then typing the whatever the product name that I'm giving or assigned in the initial stage. Okay, then extracting whatever the data that has given the cells, and then putting those into the Lakshman. Okay, please, if you guys please go on mute. Okay, that's it. Let me run this one. Okay, so the good thing is, like whenever it is running, you can kind of streaming that, and then there are 3 different ways that you can see. So on your right side, you can see that like a live streaming. And then if you want to open in a browser that you wanted to see, open in a new tab, and then like kind of tag full screen that what is happening. And then you can do in the PIP mode as well. These are the multiple options you have. Okay, the other thing, whenever you run your workflow, and then which if that activity is successful, you can see here that green icon symbol here. Same way we have like in studio, in debug we have this execution trial, like it will give you whether it is succeeded or fail, or it is in the progress, that kind of symbol. You can directly get it in the Cloudflow as well, whether it is success or failure. Okay, so it says it is completed. Let's see whether it has written some data or not. information data. That's it. You have the mobile name and then price and then the results here. Okay, so this is how that you can extract the details, or you can interact with the browser, okay, using the Studio Web. um okay, so that's one use case that I wanted to show you. The other use case that I have built for you is RPA challenge. Like, you might have known RPA challenge. I'm not going to kind of do now. I'm kind of give you kind of a demo what we have done or what I have done. Let me show you RPA challenge. You go to the RPA challenge, and then we have to enter first name, last name, all those details, and then submit it. So whenever you submit, the position of the fields will change automatically. So if I do, like, if you see the company name, every the elements of the fields are changing the positions. Okay, so this is what I have done. Okay, so let me kind of show you. Okay. Okay, so let me show you what I've done. So I made it as a manual trigger. I'm reading the file. I'm reading this Excel sheet, which is having some data in it. Okay, then going inside this web page and then filling all those details for each row in an Excel file. Okay, typing all those fields, and then at last I'm clicking on submit. So let me run this for you. Um, let me show you in a toggle screen. You have multiple options here, toggle screen, and then you can open in the new tab, or you can see in the PIP mode as well. So what it will do, it will read the details, and then it will fill all those details here. We have around 10 fields. It may take like 10 to 15 seconds. So in this use case, the activities which I have used is reading the Excel file from cloud, and then looping those Excel data table, or whatever the rows, how many rows we have, and then inserting those details and then submitting that data. It's kind of, I'm interacting with Google application and then Google Excel sheets. Yeah, we're almost done. That's it. All the details are submitted. So this is how that we have interacted and then reading the data from the cloud Google Sheets. Okay, so these are all the multiple use cases that I have created for you. And then let me go back to the PPT, what I have else. Okay, any doubts so far? So this is what I wanted to show you guys, how easily that we can interact, or that how easily that we can automate any web applications using the Studio Web. So this is some kind of basic use cases, and then which I have created, and then maybe in the future sessions that we are planning that on Studio Web. So we'll show you some kind of real-time use cases, how we can leverage the Studio Web in your real time, or in your offices workspace as well, for your clients as well. Any doubts? If not, I wanted to give my pass to the Srini to take him, he will take you through the document understanding part as well.
Thank you, Guna. So I hope one question is there that can we use it as a reusable component? Yeah, it is possible.
It is, yes.
It is possible because we can download the project to Desktop Studio and you can use it as a reusable component. That way it is possible. Okay.
Okay. Srini, I just wanted to take a 1 minute.
Yeah.
I just wanted to show him or show whoever asked that question. So go back to your projects and then option to open in Studio Desktop. Or the other way, what you can do, you can download this project. How we have this NuGet package. So download this package folder. Then just I'm into zip. Just open it. You have the main XML. That's it. It's a UiPath kind of project, and then you can directly open it from the UiPath Studio Web to directly UiPath Studio, or the other way also we can do, I guess. Just wanted to. Okay, so we can do that. Answer to your question, yes, we can do that. Srini, over to you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Guna. That's a good session actually. We've gone through the UI automation very well. So let me share my screen to let me introduce the document understanding. Okay, the capability of how we can do this and what is the purpose of the documents actually. Like there are different types of documents in the real world. So let's suppose you are going to a company visit and you are in on-site and your company is reimbursing your all your expenses. So let's say take one example, like you are traveling to office every day from your hotel. So at that time you need to produce the taxi bill for that. So that's one kind of a document we can say in the real time. Okay, so let's see what categories. So every document was sit in it, some categories. So we will see that what categories are there. So first one is the very structured, okay, structured document. When I say structured document, it follows a template. When you say template, it is a pre-template with having a proper alignment and everything of the data. So the examples will come here is that like forms, your web forms or passports or licenses or timesheets. It follows some structure, right? Because let's take the previous example only. If you are traveling in Uber, okay, it has one document, and if you are traveling to Ola, it has one document, but it is structurally aligned across the Ola and Uber, right? So that comes under the structured document. So next one is the semi-structured document where we can say this one as a receipts, okay, purchases, orders, and medical bills, bank statements, utility bills. Okay, this is some kind of semi-structured because if you see the bank statements, it will be like in the row and everything, right? Like so, we can automate this also. And coming to the next one is that it is a unstructured document where you don't have fixed format at all. Okay. Some parts are it has no fixed element at all. Okay, like various contracts, agreements, emails. Okay, emails coming as again like a text based, so it contains again like a image based also. At the time, it is a very unstructured one. Okay, and a drug prescription newsletters or voice scripts like that. So these are all like into a semi-structured and structured documents. Okay, so what is all about document understanding actually? So when we say document understanding, you people all think that like it is a OCR. Is it a OCR? It will do an OCR kind of thing. But think one thing, like if it is a OCR, it will read only the text. It will not understand the document type or anything. Okay. So when you say again that it can be like a computer vision, no, it cannot be a computer vision also, because computer vision will detect the images, detect the objects from the images. Then what exactly the document understanding it is? So the next one is this. So document understanding is a combination of RPA, document processing, artificial intelligence, which is three together comes as a document understanding. Why it is required? Because right now you see that if you take any other OCRs, you need to either integrate with the RPA tool, okay, which is a outside vendor again. Like let's suppose take Abby software, okay. In the Abby software, there is no RPA tool integrated. Again, you are integrating with UiPath. But UiPath has come up with the entire end-to-end solution over here, that whatever you are doing in the studio, it can be combined with the document processing, okay? And as well as it can understand your document, whether it is a receipt or whether it is an invoice or any kind of thing, and try to parse the text from that document. So this is what it is saying, that document understanding. Okay. So going on, this is the nutshell what I can say here. So RPA, it can look for the documents, it can wait. But there are different ways where we can tell the bot to wait for the documents. Okay, and once documents are received, it will pass to the document understanding service. And in the middle of the document understanding service, there was a like document processor where it can like classified documents, whether it is a invoice or whether it is a like a kind of thing where it requires the AI knowledge, because of the it can be like a different vendors also. Like if you are producing like a Ola bill, okay, some other are producing like Uber bill also. At the time, the document understanding has the capability that it is a receipt and you need to extract some values from that. That comes under the AI technology. Okay. So let's robots handle your routine document and processing. So companies have very tedious task that like every time they are receiving any company to they have to handle more receipts when come to like accounts department or some other departments, right? So they have their tedious work, like working like many weeks of time, and they are manually doing this. So that can be replaced with our robots using this document understanding. So what it can do actually, it can extract and interpret data from the structured documents, which we talk what is a structured document. So even it is having any like handwritten text or signatures or anything, but we are extracting some data from that, which is a fixed length for our requirement. Okay. So likewise, we can extract data from semi-structured documents. Some structured, like some will be like structured and some will not be structured, right? Unstructured. So that call as like semi-structured. So that from that also we can extract using this document understanding. And also it can analyze and extract the data from the complex unstructured data, okay, like emails or drug prescriptions. Okay. And again, whatever the human effort it is required, that can be handled using AI powered robots. That's where the document understanding is very capable in taking the decisions like a human. Okay. Because when we see the receipt, this is we can easily say that this is a taxi receipt and we have to pass to taxi receipt. That's what the manual human brain works. That the capability was given to the AI power robots. Okay. So why document understanding is required in any organization is that like it is very rapid to classify or understand the document. Okay. And it can have like accurate results. Okay. And also it can save the cost, right? Like when I say the save cost means like it will be interdependent. Like if it is not rapid, okay, it's the that is what the manual task is going on. Like we are taking one document and we are verifying in different ways, and we are entering the, so to pass the bill or any your reimbursement, it will take weeks, right? But if we are implementing this document understanding, it can easily extract the data and it can arrange uh, into your categories, and whether the category is under the budget or not, like that it can take the decisions, right? So it main purpose is that here to understand the document and parse the document and take the decisions on that. Okay. So let me show you a quick demo and also a walkthrough on the Studio Web. What activities we have in the document understanding. Okay. Before that, what is my demo? So I can give you a high level demo, overview of my demo here. So I have one invoice where I need to send to document understanding and parse the text and send to for a human validation whether it is correctly extracted or not. If it is not correctly extracted, then we need to change some changes. And I have one form over here, like in Microsoft form. So I keep it is very simple, not much complex here. So let's take the UI. Okay, wait a second. Let me copy this. So I just, this is a small form where I need to enter the vendor name and vendor address and amount. That's all. It's very simple the document, but uh, once I complete the demo, how we can extend it to next platform, I can explain on that as well. But I will show you a simple invoice of mine. Okay, this is the Amazon purchase where you will get all the invoices, right? This is also a structured document where you will get all the uh, like, or this might be like who is sold, and it is following some standard template, right? So this is a structured document where we can take this as an example into our demo. Okay, so let me open my Studio Web here, and I am creating a new project over here. So I put a document understanding so demo, and I put it as a manual only. Okay, here just take a look on like what are the actions or activities we have in document understanding. Okay. So if you type the document understanding, you will have the list of the activities what we can do with this document understanding. Okay. But for that, first of all, I need to keep my invoice because as previously said, we cannot interact the invoice if it is stored inside the desktop. Okay. So I need to use, there are different ways, but I can say a few of them like One is a Google Drive where you can put in a Google Drive activities, and after that you can read the files from there. And another one is the UiPath proprietary, which is like storage buckets. Okay, in Orchestrator. Okay, if I open my Orchestrator page here, uh, so here it is having the storage buckets, and you can see the options over there. I already uploaded my invoice over here for our demo purpose, for some time saving. Okay, and but what are the different storage buckets we have here? If you are creating any storage bucket, you can use your UiPath orchestrator of storage bucket itself, or you can choose any of the like a cloud platform, which is like Azure storage and AWS, Amazon S3. Okay, you can choose that from this also. But right now I am using the cloud bucket, orchestrator bucket. Okay, and another way I can show you is that like when I copy from the drive, Google Drive, how we can call that also. I can show you that. But there are different ways like OneDrive, or like different components are there where according to your project requirement, it can be retrieved. If you don't find any activity related to your, let's suppose like it is a customized software, but it is hosted in the cloud, then you can prepare your custom activity for the according to that. Okay, but that requires the API connections and everything to be properly set up, and the documentation also has to be Swagger also has to be imported over there. That I can show you once our session is completed. But quickly, right now, we can start working on what is the first step is that like I need to call my invoice file uh, to get the file from my storage bucket, right? So I will take this as a download. There is a control like it's under the control tab, because it is not assigned to any vendor actually. If you are like using the Google Drive, then the activities will be inside the Google's workspace, but it is a general UiPath activity. So that's where it is stored in the control tab. Okay. So I need to download the storage file from the storage bucket. So for that, we need to input some parameters over here. So it is asking for me for what is the orchestrator folder path. Okay, so I put it as a workspace because my document is under the workspace document only. In the workspace storage bucket. And again, it is specific to the folder level. So you need to say that if you put the shared folder, and if you search here, there is nothing available here. So I put the invoice in the storage bucket of my workspace folder. That's where you can find this. Okay. So that's where I selected here the demo underscore demo UiPath 312 at Gmail workspace. And after that, I need to choose what is your bucket name. Okay. When I say the bucket name, it contains two buckets over here, two bucket names. One is DU demo and another one is DU storage bucket. Why this was created, I can tell you in the while. Okay. So my currently invoice is stored in UiPath demo, DU demo. So I select the DU demo over here. And the file path, it automatically, whatever the files over here, we can choose from this bucket. Right now, I have only one invoice over here. So it is showing me only one invoice. Okay. So once it is completed, I need to give a output variable also, because I need for the next activity, what we are doing, it requires the input, right? So that's where I need to output this file, output this file So that if I click on the additional properties and I click on the output, here I can specify whether it is output, whether I can specify a different variable also, like a downloaded file like that. Okay, I can put this variable, but by default it has some variable configured with this. Okay, that I can use. Okay, it's a very kind like in Studio Web, Studio Desktop, we need to declare a variable, but here we can reuse whatever the variable it is there inside the already created activity. Okay, so I, so the next thing is that whatever downloaded file has to send to the DU, document understanding we call. Okay, so in shortcut it is a DU. Okay, so I click on plus button again to add the activities, and I need to send to document understanding, right? So we will search for what options we have here. So sending the DU motive is that to extract the data, right? So that's where we are seeing this activity compatible to me. So I click on extract document data. Okay. So it take a bit while depend upon the server also. Okay. So let's suppose I need to choose a project, right? Like I want to choose a project, but I don't want to create my model and everything like from the scratch. But I can use the predefined template. That is what you are seeing. But if you are interested and train your model and everything, then you can create your new project. But I can show you another way also why, for a beginner, what we can do. Okay, in a while. Okay, so once you select the predefined thing, it will ask you what is the type of the extractor. Okay, here you can see there is a range of types where you can if your input file is like a bank statement, you can choose the bank statement and write away. Uh, uh, Remember that these are all like trained documents by trained models by UiPath with thousands of documents, maybe lakhs of documents also. Okay, so you can expect some results are accurate. Okay, but you can surely improve once you can newly click on create new project. But we can see what type of information we can get with this one. So I show you my invoice, right? Like this is a Amazon invoice where it falls under the invoices India. Okay, I put this now. Yeah. So now I need to input the file. So the file is coming from the download storage file. So we will check over here, and we have the option over here that we have the download storage file activity. And if you expand here, this is the file, right? So if I double click here, then automatically it will select this file. Okay, there is no need of creating the variables, but as a best practice, we can always create our own variables. Okay, so this is my step where it can extract. Okay, but here the next step is very critical, that we need to have a validation with human. Okay, so for that, we need to send to a validation station. If you are working in any kind of experience in Abby Flex Capture or any other things, there is a validation station or place there. But here we have one more activity, like in document understanding, saying that create validation task. Okay, wait for validation task and resume. Okay, and create validation task and wait. Okay, so usually these three components are different. Okay, these three components have its own properties. Okay, first one is that it will create the validation task, and like it will not wait for anything, and it will end the task. And next one is that wait for the validation task and resume. But this this two has to be together used because it requires the validation station input. Okay, so these two are like if you see here also, wait for the completion created by the create validation task activity. Okay, so it is interdependent. If you are using the create validation task, then it will create the validation task and exits. But if you want to wait and resume, then you need to use this parallelly or as the next step. Okay, but here my use case is that once I complete my validation in the action center, okay, so it has to resume. Okay, when I click on resume. Okay, so I put here the create a validation task over here, and whatever the input is that the extraction data. Okay, so whatever the data coming from the extract document data, this is the input file. Again, but if you see here, this is the output file. Again, I don't want to use any variables of mine, so I will click on extract document data, and after that document that I can click on document data, which contains all my fields over there. And here it is saying that the action title. Okay, you can write whatever title it is required, like please validate my invoice, like that. You can put your variable. Okay, you can put your what do you say, your title over here, whatever it is required. And and after that I need to uh, write into the template, which is write into a form of office forms, which is already created, and this requires vendor name, vendor address, and amount. Okay, so for that, what I will do is that I will create a use browser activity over here. Okay, so in the previous session, you already saw how to open the browser, and how to do the UI automation for this. But I will go through with a very high level over here. So I can put first thing is first, like I need to yeah, sorry. So, wait, I need to use my browser here. Okay, and it is asking me the work in scope, where you need to work, right? So I need to work inside this page, and it will be identified with the titles of the page. Okay, so this is my title of the page, and I click on this, so it selected the scope, and it collected the URL also, whatever it is there inside this. Okay, and now my my requirement is that to type the vendor name, vendor address, amount. Okay, so here whatever the extracted data is stored inside the extracted data, extracted data, document data, right? But I want to write the human validated data. Okay, so that's where we are validating this, right? So if you check the output, it is creating inside the creation validation data and wait, and it is passing to document data. Okay, where it has all the fields of the of the document. Okay, the same thing we need to use. I need to type the vendor name over here. So I will put a type into activity over here. Okay, Okay, and I need to indicate this into the screen where to type. So if I click on this, you might see here that everything is collected, and there is a warning that it is saying that it is duplicate fonts, because it has it has another text box also. Okay, by default, um, it will select the fuzzy selector. Okay, but you can make it as a strict selector also. But right now, with the fuzzy selector we will deal with, is that we can make one anchor. Okay, so if I make the anchor, now the selector is stable. Okay, because I have the anchor over here. That's where we can create a, we can avoid the duplicates over here. Okay, and I am confirming this. And for this, to type the data, I need to go to create and validation task. That is what we require, not for the direct extraction data. Okay, so inside this document data, I need to type whatever the data of the vendor name. Okay, it's stored in the data. Okay, and vendor name I need to type. So I will select the vendor name. Oh, one click is enough, so don't worry on that. Okay, so this is my type into vendor name, but the next field is vendor address. Okay, so I will continue with like that's why I put only 3 fields to don't take much time of you in this weekend. Okay, the same thing I am making this as a anchor and confirm. Okay, so vendor address is also mapped, and after that, oh, there is some issue. This is I need to pass the vendor address over here. So correction data when it is a vendor address. Okay, and here I need to again put a type into and indicate on the tab, same as we are doing in the studio only. This is not a rocket science at all, but um, some ways it is very easy with compared to like desktop. But again, it has own pros and cons. Okay, so yeah, confirm. So again, I need to select what to type here or here. Okay. So here the total amount I will need to type. Okay. So now workflow is completed, but this is all my demo. Okay. But you may wonder that whether it will work or not. So in front of you, I can directly demo to you. I can run over here. But instead of because once it is completed, this amount to type into the VM will be closed, or virtual session will be closed. So I will put a delay over here for, or I can break over here so that we can see what, add a break point over here so that I can see what is typed inside these two. Okay. Okay. Now my flow is ready. Okay. So I can run this by step. Okay. To see what is going on inside. So whenever you keep any UI element kind of things, it will create the live session. Okay. Live stream. Okay. By default. And these activities are running background. So you will not see any actions over here until you reach to use browser. Okay. So my first task is completed, that I need to download the storage file. So it is downloaded, and as the next step, it is sending my file to DU and collecting the results. That task is also completed. Okay, the next task is that to create a validation station, validation task, and wait for the next steps. Okay, so if I click on continue, so a new task has been created for me. Okay, and it is saying that open in the action center. Okay, so the action center is required when there is a task to complete a, it's kind of like a human in the loop. Okay, okay, so you will get all the details, like whatever extracted details over here in this one, in this left side, and the invoice is also here. But you may wonder how it was possible that the invoice is getting grabbed. Okay, so if you go to the bucket, if you go to the bucket, and if you see whatever it will created, it was created by this activity, create validation task activity. Okay, so it is auto populating you, auto storing you in the storage bucket, and it will create one storage where it has all the required fields for the activity action center. Okay, this you can download, and you can see, but it is kind of like the input results is from the input results is from the DU. Okay, and the invoice what I uploaded. Okay, and the taxonomy is already created. Okay, DOM document, DOM, and encoding, and everything was created by this activity, and whatever it is required to show you the results here, that actually this entire results and everything is based upon these results. Okay, so for the first time, if you are seeing these actions, the actions is nothing but like any user to have some action, like take an approval, like from your manager. So you are sending to a approval center, right? Like the approval center kind of thing. Okay, or two actions. You can make it as two actions. Create a task, two actions, and someone who has the access, he can actually review your document, and whether to approve or not, he can decide. Okay. So right now, it is not assigned to anyone. That's where I am assigning to myself. Okay, to complete the task. If you click on here, you will see all the parameters over here, and also one more facility is that whether the vendor name is correctly created or not, we can click on the text, and based upon these, we can see whether the vendor name is correct or not. Okay, not from the, it's not from the invoice in the right side only, but you have a screenshot where UiPath robot has identified this. Okay, that screenshot also is available here, so he can easily check whether it is correct or not. Usually here, the vendor which sold to me is Drakshita Ashana Private Limited. But here it is finded like Amazon as a vendor also. That's where you can correct this by removing here. Okay, and click on validated. If you click on this, it will be 100%. Previously, it was 40% or something like that, right? So the vendor address again, I need to see whether it is correct or not. The vendor address somewhere here. Yes, this is correct. So GMR Airport City, survey number 99, which is correct. Correct. It has every full address, and it has the confidence score of 56% also. So I can making once I click tick this, it will be 100%. And the billing name is mine. No, that is fine. That is correct. Even you can see here from, and this is my billing address, and it is correct. And if you see here, the shipping address is, my name is repeated over here. Okay, so I don't need because already I took the billing name in my name, so I don't need the billing name over here. That's where I am removing these extra things. But document understanding is really great, that it understood correctly. Okay. Okay. So the invoice number again. These are not required fields, but I am passing these fields because we have only 3 entities, right? So again, if you see here, the total amount is like coming as a 21,999, but here 7,21,999, which is not correct. But because the rupee value is not identified correctly, that's where it is written as 7. But if I remove and validate this, now the value is 21,999. Okay, and like this we can validate all the things because it has a predefined temp values, so those values might not be applicable for this invoice. But if you see the GSTN, it is correctly identified, and the SGST is 9%, it is correctly identified, and remaining things are missing. Okay, so I am just going on pass because in this use case we only need like the vendor name, and so once everything was validated from your side, okay, that where you will appear with submit button. Once you click on submit, it will give some warnings, but don't ignore that. It will be auto manipulated like a few tasks, so that where you can see whether it is applicable to your use case or not. So once it is completed from your action center, okay, the browse bucket, let's see what happens. So it added a few more things like a taxonomy and text again. And that means it will return, it overwrites some text over here. That's where the text is also coming as a few results over there where the modified things will be returned over there. Okay. So the next task is that to open this in a browser, and so if I am not, right now the robot is in suspended mode. Okay, once your task is completed, usually when it is, we are running it as a attended mode. That's where it is waiting for our action to resume. Okay, but in unattended mode, what will happen is that once you complete your action here, automatically your job will be resumed, because there is another activity where you can resume. At that time, I shown you 2 dependencies, right? You can use that, not wait only. Okay. There is another activity called like create a validation station and resume, right? That activity you need to use when you are publishing in unattended mode. Okay. Now, right now I am attended mode. That's where I am clicking on resume. So once I resume, it is connecting to my live stream because it is dependent on okay, I would run by activity, right? So that's where it is asking for my next step. Okay, so now it will. Okay, I think there was some delay over here, but I will stop this and run again to see what exactly we can do this. So I can go back and wait for the, because we took some while, right? Maybe that is causing some server issue or something like that. But when I run directly, it can be typed and without any issue. Okay, so let me clear. So it is waiting for the document to extract, and after that, it's created again. I will validate once again whatever the previous steps we have discussed. Okay, send to myself, and after that, I'm just removing the Amazon.in here, I'm just validating here. This is correct. This is correct. The total amount, we need to remove the 7 over here. Just bypassing these things. So I can submit now. Yeah, it's completed now. So when I resume here, so now it is able to connect my browser, and it opened my forms over here, and it is very quick, right? So maybe I need to put a delay over here. That's where, but I can share this project link. You can also try it out if you want. Okay, but it will complete very fast. That's where it is typed and completed the things. Okay. And one more, like if you want to, let's suppose I don't have any knowledge on document understanding, and I don't want to, like do all these steps. I don't want to, like I don't know what is the sequence or anything. That's where you can create your new project. It will prompt to your DU portal. Okay. Here you have some, you don't know anything, like you are a beginner, and I don't know. I have one invoice and I know which category it is, and the UiPath has to take care of everything. At that time, you can click on get started. Okay. And choose your invoice. Okay. So wait for uploading, up to uploading. Okay. So it has uploaded with 93.339% confidence, and it automatically selected two invoices. Okay. So that is your wish, whether to continue with this invoice document or whether to choose the invoice in this India. We will go with your UiPath suggestion only, like invoices. And if you see down, there is one button called create workflow. So when you click here, it will automatically create you the workflow up to the extraction. Okay. So wait for a while, and like it opens into it automatically write your project name also here as extract invoices, and it is waiting to build all the required steps over here. Okay. See here, it is auto identified that it is like the bucket. It auto also validate to the bucket over here. Previously we saw the bucket having some files, right? These files will be removed once your task is completed in the previous workflow. Okay. But we are talking this workflow, everything was set up for you, and you only thing you need to do is that whatever the right extracted data, you can see from the output panel, or else you can extend this to your requirement. When I say your requirement, let's suppose you have a Salesforce uh, Salesforce is a SaaS application. That's where you can find, like activities, right? So if you want to insert the record with this data, that where you can insert your record with using this extraction. Okay. And the same time, you can put your input validation also, create and wait validation. Or if you are developing with sorry, developing in a unattended mode, that's where you can see the create validation task, and also the task and wait, task and resume. So this is what I have right now. Hope you like the session, and I will uh, pass to Guna again.
Thanks, Srini. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
Okay, so guys, I just wanted to quickly share. Like, meanwhile, if you guys have any questions, like, feel free to ask. And then, like,
We had one question, Guna, regarding the uh, confidence level. I mean, the question was 100 invoices, and
okay.
we can we do we have to raise action items for all? So the answer would be you can have a confidence level check inside your flow, and then if it is less than 80% or less than 60%, only then you can raise an action.
Yep, but that's based on your threshold value, like how much you wanted to make sure that 80% or whatever it
Yeah,
is.
that's entirely your use case or project based requirement. Okay, so just to show you that like you can validate also, if you can bring the human in loop also for with this activity. That is the only motto over here.
Okay. Any other questions? Just looking at the chart 1 second. How can you run multiple invoices? Okay, any other questions,
So
guys?
if you have any multiple
Okay.
invoices, that is what.
Yeah. How can we run multiple invoices?
Okay, that you can upload to a storage bucket, or you can upload to any Google Drive, and use the appropriate appropriate activity. And after that, you get files will be there in Google Drive. So all the get file, when you use the get file, and you need to choose which folder you have uploaded. Okay. Once you done that, you can put the for each activity, so that it will be continually looped and sent to the document understanding. That can be done.
Any other questions, guys? Okay, so if no one has any questions, like I just wanted like quickly take you through three of the main pillars, I can say, like forum and then academy. You might have knowing as of now there are no academic courses on Studio Web. Guys, correct me if I'm wrong, like Muddu or Lakshman, but soon we'll get
Yes,
the
yes. Currently, we don't have any
yep. So
courses.
yeah, so on Studio Web currently we don't have any courses, but soon we'll get that. But if you guys want to meanwhile like certify on any other maybe components of like document understanding or any role based kind of certification, directly go to the UiPath Academy, and then you can get the certification there. And then so we have three paid or these kind of certifications. We have one is UiRPA, and then UIRD. The other one is UIBA, the business analyst certification, which they have recently launched. So feel free to go through the certifications here. And then let me and then the other thing we have is forum. So like if you have any questions, or if you want, or if you stuck somewhere, just go to the forum and then put your question. It will be answered, like a question will be get answered within a couple of minutes only. Okay, so that's the one more thing that I wanted to show you, kind of discuss you guys. This is a forum. And then let me show you academy.uipath.com. Oh, this is how your forum looks like. And then like if you want to ask any question, create a new topic. And then which product that you are looking for, what kind of you want to report a bug or automation problem or question, select that. And then which product that you are looking for, like if you're working with the studio, just put a studio. And then what kind of like workflow tool or different kind of options you have, select that. Okay, let me select any activities panel. Then next, and then create your link and then description of that, and then create a topic. Okay, once you create a topic, and then this is how like you'll get the answers. So, okay, let's take, I wanted to talk about any studio, and then any questions we have. Okay, these are the question will be kind of displayed, and then you'll get the answers like this on forum. And then I wanted to talk to you about the academy.uipath.com as well. And then here you can see multiple courses: Action Center, Automation Hub, and then Data Services, Orchestrator, Robot, Studio X, Task Capture, Integration Services, everything, like whatever the products you have except Studio Web, I guess. So everything you have, all the based on the product as well. Okay, so there are another way of that you can do that. One is role based, and then if you are a automation developer, select it. And then if you are a business analyst, sorry, if you are a business analyst, I mean, these are the some courses that is comes under the automation developer. But if you are a business analyst, and then what are all the things that comes under you, that you can choose here. The other way you can do is certification. Yeah, so these are the some paid certification that UiPath is having. So one is UiRPA, the other one is UIRD, and then UiBPA. If you are starting, or if you are a beginner, and then I'll highly recommend you to go for the UiRPA. And then once you become, and then once you have the real-time experience, go for the UiRT. And then if you're a business analyst, go for the UiBA. So this is one more thing that I want to show you, apart from that, community events. So since like I don't know like how many of you guys there in the initial this meetups, everything, you can directly go on the UiPath. Okay, let's take all these are whatever the events that we are doing, all these sessions, all these series that comes under the Visakhapatnam community events. Okay, here you can see like multiple events. The next meetup will be on Studio Web leveraging GPT screening. Okay, so go there, and then RVSP. Okay, register yourself, and then you'll get a invitation for that. And then if you want to see some other thing as well, change the city here to, like, let's take, I wanted to look for the Hyderabad. And then these are all some past events, and then next events that it is going to come. 1 second. You can see all the event or whatever the things that are happening in the UiPath community under your Hyderabad, you can see here. Okay, so that's on the community events. And then I wanted to talk you, or Muddu, like if you want to talk, or
Yeah. So as I already pinged in the chat, so we have a small contest. So this is the announcement. So what you have to do is you just have to create a small Studio Web use case. And then the use case will be, as Guna already showed in today's session, you have to open RPA challenge as it's showing now.
yeah, go to the rpachallenge.com.
And then create your workflow, automate this, and then use tags. Can you show the tags?
Yes.
Use these tags and post in LinkedIn.
Don't forget to tag us, because we have to choose who is the winner, and then who has created earlier stage. Okay, and then for this, if you need input, so once you log in into this page, once you launch this page, you'll have an option called download Excel. Okay, if you click on it, it will download an Excel for you, and then just open it. 1 second. Okay, we'll be having data like this, around like 10 rows you have. Yeah, 10 rows of data you have. Using the Studio Web, try to automate and then reading that Excel file, upload into a Google Drive or upload into a Office 365, wherever it feels comfortable for you. Read the data and then launch this web application, and then fill each and every row and then submit it. Take a recorder, take a recording of that session and then put it in LinkedIn, and then don't forget to tag us so that we can figure it out, like who has done good and then who has done earlier state.
Gonna add one more tag called UiPath Vizag chapter also.
Okay, cool. Let me do that. Helping you these tags in the chat now.
Yeah, guys, as Guna and Mudhu mentioned, please complete the solution and post in the LinkedIn with the tags. Winners will receive some vouchers or goodies from the UiPath.
Okay, any questions on the use case, guys, on this?
And also, whatever the documents yesterday and we showed all those things, we are uploading into the Git repository and we are sharing that link also. You can
So
download all the documents or anything from there.
just to add, Lakshman, Guna, can you just go to the community page?
Mm-hmm.
Go to the past events. Go to yesterday's event. Not this one. Yeah. So here you can see the recording and go down. Go down more down. Yeah, here you have the link to the documents. The first link is to link to the documents. First link. Click on the first link.
Yeah, let me put this link in the chat.
Click on this access to the documents. Yeah. So here you have all the documents. So all the links to the documents and the recordings will be uploaded to the community page itself directly.
Okay, thanks, Padru. Any other questions, guys, have? Cool, then I'll take it as a no, and then thank you so much for making some time to join us on the weekend, and then we'll see you in the next event. And then don't forget to register yourself for that next session. That will be bit interesting because that's a good use case, I can say.
And winners will have some interesting goodies, and I
As
hope
well,
you
yeah.
like that.
Okay, thank you so much, guys. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.